So this is the Seagull model Mehari, Mehari, and look, it's got a bit of sentimental value to me. The plane was given to me by a fella at our club called Ken. He, well, let's just say him and it didn't agree, and it kept wanting to become a jigsaw puzzle for him. So he gifted it to me, and I put a DLE-20 in it, which I got from another guy at the club who had a mishap. And anyway, so it's all got sentimental value. So the problem is, it's an absolute bitch of a thing to fly. I've had 10 crashes and 8 flights with it. All the sides have been replaced. Firewall up the front. Anyway, let's go through and I'll tell you what I've done to get this going, because this is a fairly old plane, and I've watched a lot of videos on YouTube, and they all seem to have the same tendency, and that is that it wants to go along the ground and just go straight up, and then when it comes in and land, it crashes or bounces, and that was my experience with it. So a couple of things I did differently from the original was I put these right on the outer edge. So these linkages here are right on the outer. And then what I've done is I've come down here, and it recommends that you put it in the middle hole. I've put it in the end hole here. So I'm running this with 3 different expos. And I think the problem that I've got with it, if you look down the elevator to the wing, I don't know, the only thing I can explain it is that the wind coming over here really affects this, and I don't know. Anyway, failed aeronautical engineering. But what I have done to fix that and to make it flyable, I've given myself 3 flight modes. One's 10% expo, 20 and 30. At the moment I'm flying on 10% expo, and it seems to be working. It's one of the only planes I've ever come across that it says the up is going to be more than the down. Usually they're 20 up, 20 down, 50 up, 50 down, whatever. This one is 20 up and 15 down. I tried that and it was still too squally. Came in, smashed the landing gear off for the 58th time. So if you have a look, I'll turn the radio back on. So if you have a look at how much up I've got, that's how much up, but that's how much down. So if you go from the side, that's how much up, and that's how much down I've got. And that up and down, that amount of down is about 10 millimeters. So it's actually less than what the manual recommends. And you've seen it come in and land. It just, like before, it'd come in and you'd pull a bit of down, and then it'd just nosedive, and you'd go up, and it'd wait half an hour, and then it'd go up. But by that stage, the landing gear has retracted, if you know what I mean. So I'm trying that. So I've got high, medium and low rate. So that's low rate. That's medium rate, and that's high rate. So even in the down position, you've got high, you've got low, medium and high. So that's your high rate. Now that's about 15 mil. So I'm going to try that later when I get more used to the plane. The last couple of days it's been absolutely blowy. The wind's coming from the right direction over from that way, so you can take off along the strip, but the wind is pretty gusty. Now, doesn't look like it, but it is. Another thing I've done is I've added more nose weight to this. So the CG on this, they recommend the CG that they recommend on this, right, is there. diagram in the manual shows it from the front of the landing gear, but it does say from the root. Now 110 millimeters back to here, I've put this bit of sticky there so you can feel it. So it's the back of that. So what I've had to do is I've added another, I think it's about 25-30 grams of lead to the front of it. So in order to get it going properly, I've added more nose weight so it's nose heavy. Put the linkages on the outer holes of all the servos here, and on the servos down here, we're at the lowest point. Of course, they all recommend medium, which is that guy there, but I've done that. And she seems to be flying pretty well. We had and this is what happened last time. I had to go and print some hubs for me wheels, because yeah, me and wheels, we don't get along, and that's me breather. But look, all in all, it's kind of a sentimental plane for me. Look, it's just a beautiful plane, and it's a shame it didn't fly good, but I think I got it dialed in now. So yeah, that's it. So that's it. You wouldn't even know it's been crashed, would you? The last crash I did, I cartwheeled it and I took the whole back off here. This came off. This had been glued and in position, and when I looked at it, when I put it back, it didn't line up. So I've lined it back up with the wings. You can see here where the wings don't exactly match up. You know, there's a bit of a gap. That side there, they've both been done. They've both been reinforced all the way down. This has all been reinforced. Up under here's been reinforced. That's snapped off once. That's got reinforced. So that's it. That's her. I printed that up. So they're your off and ons for your receiver and your ignition. And I like to actually take the canopy off to have a look at the petrol, not only what I've used, but to filling it up. So the canopy gets a fair bit of usage, but I like to do that. So I've printed that bracket up, and it's got ignition and receiver. So that's it. That's Captain Kenny. That's Captain Kenny, and I got sick of breaking wooden props, so we've used a master screw prop, and as you can see, she's got a little bit of dirt on it from probably flying debris in the air, or where we may have done a bit of a nosedive. Anyway, but that is fast becoming a nice little dialed in plane.